the good old Xbox One. And this is a new console for us. We just recently did an Xbox One buying guide because I think it's a great time to jump into this console because the games are so freaking cheap. Just the perks of being a generation behind are absolutely phenomenal.
Today's episode is a little bit of a hybrid. We've had two different series going on, 10 games we're still playing on respective consoles in 2022. Well, now we're in 2023, so that year's obviously going to change. But we've also been showing how you can build an awesome collection on various consoles for $100 or less.
And in today's episode, we're going to talk about 10 amazing Xbox One games we're still playing in 2023 in 10 minutes or less, and also all these games, add them up, less than $100.
Some of them were Xbox One exclusives, and now you can play them on, just online and Xbox Series X and all that stuff. But nonetheless, we're gonna roll the damn video. Great value here, and this is the most expensive game on our list, but it's still really cheap. It comes in at $17.81, and that is the Halo Master Chief Collection.
6 games for less than $20. That is absolutely insane. You get Halo 1, 2, 3, ODST, Halo Reach. It's absolutely phenomenal. If you're a fan of Halo, this is a must buy. If you've never got around to playing the old Halo games, must freaking buy. This value is insane.
Now, this may or may not be of value to you if you've got the 360 games laying around because they're backwards compatible and you can play them that way. But where this game has a ton of value is it's all in one place. And when a console's new to you and you don't want to go to your game room to pull stuff out, you got all the Halos right there. For that price, I think it's an epic deal.
All right, this next game is so freaking unique. I've never played anything like it, but it reminds me a lot of other games that I have played, and that's Sunset Overdrive.
It combines a lot of different types of games that I've played in my life, so I'm going to try explaining it to you the best way I can with my stupid cat brain. And that is Infamous mixed with Jet Grind Radio mixed with Left 4 Dead.
This game is just very unique and very freaking fun. And it's only $5.64. That's absolutely insane for such a unique game.
A great soundtrack in this. If you're into like punk rock, skate culture, maybe even a little like cyberpunk type of vibe, a lot of grinding.
If you haven't played Sunset Overdrive, and I don't hear a lot of people talking about this game, you should definitely play it. Highly, highly recommend. It is just so freaking fun to pick up and play.
The game has a vibe to me. It's weird. It kind of reminds me of a Sega game. It's not, but it does have just that quirky Sega like style and humor to it.
It's badass.
Another great value here. For $10.90, you can have 31 games. It's really all in one though. It's the Gears Ultimate / Rare Replay Collection.
Obviously, the Gears Ultimate Edition is Gears 1, remastered, HD remake, and all this stuff. Beautiful game. And then you get Rare Replay. 30 games developed by Rare, goes all the way back to the NES, Battletoads, and then all the way through like the 64, and maybe like even past that.
Just a widespread, no 007 GoldenEye, so don't get all flared up about that, but it does have Perfect Dark on here. The value in this is crazy.
You got Banjo-Kazooie, you got Perfect Dark, you got Grabbed by the Ghoulies. That Grabbed by the Ghoulies, fantastic game. It's just awesome to play these old school Rare games on an Xbox One. I've been recently playing through Banjo-Kazooie on this collection, and it just feels great with the Xbox One controller and not the N64 controller.
I think the Rare Replay by itself is like in the $9 range, but for $10.90 you can also get the definitive version of Gears of War, so we figured why not go with this? Don't need to explain really Gears of War. We streamed and beat that on the channel.
This is a fantastic freaking collection that I think everyone that has an Xbox One should have. This next game is a hidden gem, and we don't really use that term a lot here, but I think this game qualifies, and that's Quantum Break. This game is insane. I've never played a game like this before.
Now, if you've played Max Payne 3, some of the developers on that and some of the developers from Alan Wake are a part of Quantum Break. I don't know the exact dichotomy of how that all worked, but this game feels a lot like that. A lot of manipulation of time, so it's not just slowing down bullets. You've got all these extra power-ups and stuff.
What's crazy is it's about like time travel and time distortion, and you got all these like crazy special abilities, and it's like a third-person shooter, but then there's cutscenes that are full episodes.
Real actors, not like digitized. And it's actually pretty freaking good. It's not like, I wouldn't say that it's like a AAA movie release, but it's definitely better than like your CSIs and Chicago PDs that are on network TV. So it's somewhere in between there. But they cuss. They're good actors. There's like a IT guy that Robert and I really like.
When I started playing it, I was like, I've never played anything like this. Blown freaking away. And it reminds me a little bit of like Until Dawn or like these other games where it's kind of storytelling, because in Quantum Break there's areas where you have to make decisions. And those decisions affect the game and affect the story. So whatever you decide is how the game continues.
Quantum Break, if you haven't played it, I'm getting a little long-winded on it, but it's because I really freaking like the game and it's super cheap. It's like a $7 game. One of the most unique games I've ever played.
This next game is just a really fun zombie game, and I love zombie games. Dead Rising 3, love the art style of this. It's just simple. You just kill zombies, you find weapons, you craft weapons.
I think most folks have played a Dead Rising game. Dead Rising 3, I don't think I ever played 2. I played 1, got to 3. 3 is pretty freaking cool. Just zombie game, there's hordes coming and you have to survive. Very cheap game, it's like $6.70.
You can pick up almost anything in the environments. You can pick up pallets, cinder blocks, anything you can find just to kill zombies. It's just a fun, simple zombie game.
A little slow at the start. There's a lot of little story stuff at the beginning, so you don't really get to get in there and start ripping and roaring and kicking ass. But once you do, it's a lot of fun.
Another Microsoft staple, we've already mentioned the first one in the series, but here's Gears of War 4. This game is only $6.74. For Gears of War 4, this game is badass. Couch co-op, just Gears brutality.
This is really done kind of in the style of the first 3 games. It's just a continuation. Gears 4 is amazing. It's still got your couch co-op split screen. I believe it still offers horde mode, and it just looks fantastic.
And I'm so glad that they keep like the couch co-op alive in this current generation, because everything nowadays is online and all this stuff, but Gears of War, they're keeping it how they kept it always. This game is badass.
Love Gears of War 4. 2 is still probably my favorite in the series, but 4 is up there. It's definitely worth a play if you like the Gears games, and at this price, how could you miss out on it?
Now, this game is not Microsoft exclusive like most of the games on this list, but I think it is a must freaking play. This game won like Game of the Year when it came out. This game is huge. You can play this game infinitely because there's so many side missions, so many things you can do, and that's Red Dead Redemption 2.
We did a PS4 video, and I think somebody was like, why didn't you mention Red Dead or something like that? And well, it's because we're saving it for this episode. $16.63 on the Xbox One. Cheapest way to play it, arguably probably the best way to play it. So it's no brainer.
It is just so much fun. I recently just started this. It takes a while to like fully get into it because there's a lot of story. So I will say that, but once you get into the game, you can do anything you can imagine. Pretend Grand Theft Auto, Cowboy, it is phenomenal. You guys obviously know Red Dead Redemption 2. It was a AAA release. Fantastic game.
Red Dead Redemption 2 is fantastic. It takes a lot of what 1 did, but it takes it to the next level. I haven't beat this game yet, but I believe I'm in like chapter 8 right now, and I really, really enjoy it. So you should check out Red Dead Redemption 2 if you haven't. It's a game that was full price for quite a while, but now's the time to scoop in and get it on the DL.
We got another collection on here, and I think this generation is awesome with collections, because if you never got around to playing these games, you can get one disc and it has all these games on it, and that's the Bioshock Collection.
2K games, 3 Bioshocks, you get 1, 2, and Infinite all in one collection. This game's only like $11, and the Bioshock games are kick-ass. I still like the first one the best in the series. Infinite, I didn't connect with Infinite quite as well. 2 obviously is a completely different perspective, but they're all good games. I think 1 is the great game of the bunch.
If you never got around to playing the Bioshock games, it's a great way to jump into it, or if you only played 2, or if you only played Infinite. This is just a great collection to have because the Bioshock games are so badass and they're so unique. Like, I've never played a game it's just very weird, and like every game is different than the prior game. It's an awesome collection.
Gears 5. Love this game. You play as Kate Diaz or whatever her tits.
Do you like hot fudge sundaes?
Again, we already talked about Gears 1, Gears 4, but Gears 5 is just a continuation of the Gears series, couch co-op, badassery. I don't know what else to say. I just know that this game is badass. It is super freaking fun, and it's only $8.
I think people are kind of feeling like Gears has gotten a little formulaic. There is a little bit of a different narrative, I feel like, in this game comparatively to the other 4, but you still get that split screen co-op. We already talked about Gears 4 in this episode, so I don't want to beat up the Gears stuff, but if you're a Gears of War fan, they did drop the of War on this game. It's just Gears.
Check it out if you haven't, because why wouldn't you? $8. Gears of War, couch co-op, chainsaw. Do it.
Halo 5 Guardians. Now, this one might be a little controversial because I think this game didn't land very well with Halo fans, but I don't think it's all that bad of a game. Now, I do understand that there's no split screen on it. Is that a pain in the ass? Yes, it is. I also understand there's no co-op campaign. Is that a pain in the ass? Yes, it is. But for $6.73, if you're a Halo fan, I think you got to play Halo 5.
Less than $7 for Halo 5. Halo is such a phenomenal series. You know, it's like Microsoft's freaking bread and butter. And Halo 5 is just a beautiful freaking game. If you never got around to playing Halo 5, now's a perfect chance. Less than $7 for a Halo game.
Overall, the game is pretty freaking good. Is it on the level of like a Halo 3? No, I don't believe it is, but I think it's still pretty cool, and it's definitely worth owning, and it's a game that I made sure to have in my Xbox One collection.
That's 10 games for less than $100 in under 10 minutes or less. And technically, those 10 games is 47 games. So beat that. 47 games for less than $100. That is the most value for your buck. The Rare Replay, the Halo Master Chief Collection, Bioshock Collection. Highly recommend collections if you never got around to playing these games. It is just, now is a great time to collect for the Xbox One.
And I know a lot of these games, if you do have Game Pass, you might not need all of these, right? And you might not even need an Xbox One to play these games. That's just what we have. If you have a Series X, donuts make you go nuts. Go out and get some of these games. If you just want to play them on PC, you can do that as well. I don't give a shit how people play their games, but these are just awesome games. The way we play them on Xbox One, that's our newest console. We feel like we have a new console, even though it's a generation behind. And they're epic games. And I can't believe the prices of some of these. It's mind-blowing that they feel so fresh and new. You know, I look at like Sunset Overdrive. It feels like nothing I've ever played before. And it's that cheap. So I think it's a great time to get down on the Xbox One. These are the games we are playing on the console, our newest console, and we feel pretty dang good about it. We appreciate you tuning in. Subscribe to the channel, and we will see you next time right here on the one and only Gaming Off the Grid. Tough guy.
Tough guy.